He said all the right things. He was charming. Romantic. He talked about forever. He got down on one knee. He proposed. He said, "I do." 3 times. To 3 different women. In 3 different Florida counties. All within 2 years. And he never divorced any of them. This isn't a plot from a reality TV show. This is the real story of Henry Betsey Jr., a Florida man who used dating apps to find vulnerable women, marry them, gain access to their money, and juggle 3 separate marriages across the state, until his lies caught up with him. Before we dive into this unbelievable story of deception and betrayal, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the American Shadow family. This case was just decided in August 2025, just 2 months ago. Henry Betsey was sentenced for bigamy, and his 3 wives finally got their day in court. Drop your state in the comments below. Let's talk about this together. This is the story of Henry Betsey Jr., the man with 3 wives. Henry Betsey Jr. lived in Florida. He was in his 40s, single, or so he claimed, and he was looking for love. On dating apps, multiple dating apps, Tinder, Bumble, Match, wherever he could find women who were looking for a serious relationship. And Henry knew exactly what to say. He was smooth, charming. He knew how to make women feel special. He complimented them. He listened to them. He talked about the future, about commitment, about building a life together. He said all the right things, and one by one, women fell for him. The first marriage happened in 2021. Henry met a woman on a dating app. We'll call her wife number 1. Her real name hasn't been publicly released, but court documents confirm she was his first victim. Henry swept her off her feet. They dated. He was attentive, romantic. He talked about forever, and within months, Henry proposed. Wife number 1 said yes. They got married at a county courthouse in one of Florida's counties. It was quick, simple. No big wedding, just the 2 of them and a marriage certificate. But Henry had a problem. He liked the attention, the excitement of a new relationship, the thrill of the chase, and one wife wasn't enough. So he went back to the dating apps, while still married to wife number 1. In 2022, Henry met wife number 2, again on a dating app. She lived in a different Florida county. She had no idea Henry was married. He told her he was single, looking for love, ready to settle down. And she believed him. Because why wouldn't she? Henry was convincing. He showed up. He called. He texted. He made her feel like she was the only woman in the world. And when he proposed, she said yes. They got married. At a different county courthouse, in a different part of Florida. Henry now had 2 wives. In 2 different counties. And neither one knew about the other. But Henry still wasn't satisfied. He wanted more. More attention. More women. More money. In 2023, Henry met wife number 3. Same pattern. Dating app. Different county. She was kind, trusting, looking for a partner, and Henry presented himself as exactly what she was looking for. They dated. He proposed. They got married at yet another county courthouse, in yet another Florida county. Henry Betsey Jr. now had 3 wives, 3 marriages, 3 marriage certificates, all legal, all official, all completely unknown to each other. And for a while, Henry managed to keep the charade going. He would spend time with wife number 1, then make an excuse and drive to wife number 2, then another excuse and head to wife number 3. He juggled schedules. He lied about work trips. He invented family emergencies. He did whatever he had to do to keep his 3 separate lives from colliding. But he wasn't just juggling marriages for fun. Henry had a motive: money. All 3 wives later told investigators that Henry had access to their finances. He borrowed money. He used their credit cards. He made purchases in their names. He convinced them he was struggling financially and needed help. And because they loved him, because they trusted him, they helped. Henry Betsey Jr. wasn't just a bigamist. He was a con man. He was using marriage as a tool to exploit women financially. And for a while, it worked. But then, something happened. One of the wives got suspicious. Maybe Henry slipped up. Maybe his story didn't add up. Maybe she found something. Whatever it was, she started digging. And she discovered the truth. Henry was married to someone else. And then she discovered he was married to someone else too. 3 wives, 3 marriages, all at the same time. She contacted the other wives, and they were devastated, shocked, angry. They had been lied to, betrayed, used, and they wanted justice. In October 2024, Henry Betsey Jr. made a surprising decision. He turned himself in to authorities. He didn't wait to be arrested. He walked into a police station and admitted what he'd done. It's unclear why Henry turned himself in. Maybe he knew he was about to be caught. Maybe the guilt got to him. Maybe he thought cooperating would earn him leniency. Whatever the reason, Henry confessed to bigamy. Bigamy is a felony in Florida. It's illegal to be married to more than one person at the same time. And Henry wasn't just married to 2 people. He was married to 3. That's 2 counts of felony bigamy. Henry was arrested and charged, and in May 2025 he pleaded guilty. He admitted to being married to 3 women simultaneously. He admitted he never divorced any of them. He admitted he used dating apps to meet them and deliberately kept his marriages secret. On July 31, 2025, Henry Betsey Jr. stood in a Hernando County courtroom for his sentencing hearing. His 3 wives were there. They wanted to face the man who had betrayed them. They wanted to tell him how his lies had destroyed their lives. One of the wives, Michelle Betsey, spoke in court. She was emotional, angry. She told the judge that Henry had destroyed her financially, that he had taken her money, that he had lied about everything. She said Henry's apology in court was insincere, that he didn't truly understand the pain he had caused. The other wives echoed her sentiments. They talked about the emotional trauma, the financial losses, the humiliation of discovering they were part of a bigamy scheme. They wanted Henry to pay for what he'd done, but Henry avoided jail time. The judge sentenced him to 2 years of probation. No prison, no jail, just probation, with some strict conditions. As part of his probation, Henry was banned from using social media and dating apps. The judge wanted to make sure Henry couldn't use the same methods to deceive more women. He was also ordered to pay restitution to his victims for the money he stole. The wives were furious. They felt the sentence was too lenient, that Henry should have gone to prison, that probation wasn't enough for the crimes he committed. But legally, the judge's hands were somewhat tied. Bigamy is a felony, but it typically doesn't carry long prison sentences, especially for first-time offenders who plead guilty. Henry's attorney argued that his client had taken responsibility by turning himself in, that he had cooperated with authorities, that he was remorseful, but the wives didn't buy it. They said Henry only turned himself in because he knew he was about to be caught. So how did Henry get away with it for so long? How did he manage to marry 3 women in 3 different Florida counties without anyone noticing? The answer lies in Florida's marriage registration system, or rather the lack of a centralized system. When you get married at a county courthouse, that marriage is recorded in that county's records. But there's no statewide database that checks if you're already married in another county. So Henry could go to County A, get married, and the clerk would have no way of knowing he was already married in County B. And when he went to County C, same thing. No red flags, no alerts. No way to catch him unless someone specifically checked all the counties. This case exposed a major flaw in the system, and the wives are now advocating for changes. They want Florida to create a statewide marriage database, so that when someone applies for a marriage license, the system automatically checks if they're already married anywhere else in the state. It seems like common sense. But as of now, that system doesn't exist. And Henry Betsey Jr. exploited that loophole to marry 3 women without anyone stopping him. This case also raises questions about online dating. Henry used dating apps to find his victims, apps that are supposed to help people find love. But in Henry's hands, they became tools for deception and fraud. The wives all said the same thing. Henry knew exactly what to say. He was charming. He made them feel special. He talked about commitment and forever, and they believed him. Because people on dating apps are looking for genuine connections, they want to trust, and con artists like Henry exploit that trust. So what happens now? Henry Betsey Jr. is on probation. He's banned from dating apps. He's supposed to pay restitution. But will he? And more importantly, will he actually change? Or will he find new ways to deceive women once his probation is over? The 3 wives have had to rebuild their lives. They've had to get annulments. They've had to untangle their finances. They've had to deal with the emotional trauma of being lied to and used. And they've had to accept that the man they married, The man they trusted never really existed. Henry Betsey Jr. was playing a role, and they were his victims. This case is a reminder that not everyone on dating apps is who they say they are. That charm and smooth talk aren't the same as honesty and integrity, and that if something feels too good to be true, it probably is. Henry Betsey Jr. said all the right things, but his actions told a different story. He was a liar, a manipulator, a con man, and 3 women paid the price for trusting him. Thank you for watching American Shadow. This case was just decided in August 2025. Henry Betsey avoided jail but is on probation and banned from dating apps. What do you think? Should he have gotten prison time, or is probation enough? Drop your state and your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our stories. And if you're on dating apps, be careful. Verify what people tell you. Trust your instincts. And remember, not everyone is looking for love. Some people, like Henry Betsey Jr., are just looking for their next victim. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, if someone seems too good to be true, they probably are.